What's going on, guys? Out at the range today. It has been a pretty chaotic, hectic, busy, rough couple of weeks, past 2 or 3 weeks, and I decided I needed just a little bit of ballistic therapy and some range time just to kind of relax for a minute. So this video isn't going to have a whole lot of a real purpose or point other than it's just something I wanted to do just for fun and because. So what I'm going to do today, I've got a little bit left of this awesome Defiant Munitions 62 grain full metal jacket. And while it's just a standard full metal jacket range load, it's actually pretty doggone accurate. Defiant does some really good stuff. And I had a little bit of this left, and I wanted to do a little informal shoot off amongst four of my favorite guns. Now they're all 14.5-inch barrels, with the exception of one that's a 14.7-inch barrel. So it's got a whole 2/10 more barrel than the others. So for all practical purposes, 14.5. And it is the second circle of hell hot today, hence why the shade, because there's not a single cloud in the sky, of course. So the ones that I'm going to be running today, and we're just going to see which one ends up being more accurate using the same load of ammo across all four. Does it mean anything? No. Is it a true test? Not in any sense of the word. It is not a true scientific test, because you're going to have me in the equation as the shooter. And I could shoot really good with one gun, and then the next one, I could end up just snatching the trigger all over the place. Eyesight could go all blurry on me, whatever. There's all kind of variables that can come into play. So this is not meant for you to draw any kind of conclusions definitively, other than we're just going to see what the different guns will do with the same load to the best of my abilities, just out here today. The targets I'm going to be using, coincidentally, are these awesome targets right here that you can actually get on Defiant Munitions website. No, I don't get paid a dime. I like the targets. They're good. You can get them on the website. I'll have links to everything over at the blog, and a link to the blog in the description box. Or if you're watching on Rumble or wherever else, then I'll have links actually in the description box. YouTube will be the only place that I can't. So the guns I'm going to be using today, I've got this one, which is my Pro 2A tactical build. This has got a standard nitrided barrel. It is the one outlier from the other three in that it has a primary arms 2X prism on it. It's the only one that's got any kind of magnification. The others are going to be my 14.5-inch Expo arms build that has a 14.5-inch chrome line barrel with a primary arms 1X. Then my primary go-to gun that I have with me all the time, which is a Palmetto State Armory 14.7, but it's got one of the Cold Hammer Forged chrome lined barrels that I believe was from still when FN was making them for them. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that this one's from back in that era. But anyway, it's a chrome line, blah blah blah. And then last but not least, my personal build using the 14.5-inch Roscoe nitrided barrel. Now, this Roscoe barrel I already know is stupid accurate, so I'm really curious to see what it's going to do. It has just a standard 1X primary arms MD25 on it. So that's the guns that I'm going to be using. That's the setups and the optics. I'm sweating to just standing here talking to you guys, as you can tell. So we're going to get set up, and I've already got targets downrange. I'm going to shoot a 5-shot group with each gun. on its own target, and then we'll see what each one of them looks like and go from there. Again, not meant to be any kind of definitive conclusion or comparison or anything like that. It's just for fun for me to kind of see what I can do. So don't go drawing any conclusions of which gun shoots good and which gun shoots bad, because so much of it is going to be the set of eyes and the finger behind the trigger. Your results may be way better, your results may be way worse than what mine are. This is just for fun because I want to. So let me get some mags loaded up and we'll put them down range and see what happens. Alright guys, I apologize for the wonky angle with the camera, but it is so hot out here. I'm trying to keep the camera from being directly in the sun so it's not getting cooked as well. And got to have the fan going to A, get a little bit of a breeze, and B, try to keep some of the vampires away. So it is what it is. Let's put this over here. Alright, so I'm going to start. I've got 4 targets up. Going to go left to right. The very first one is going to be the Roscoe barrel build. Again, Roscoe barrel, primary arms MD25. And we'll see what each group looks like. I'm going to try to brace it as good as I can. Take as much of me out of the equation as possible. Alright, so that's that one. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and shoot all the groups before we go down and look at them. That way I don't have to walk back and forth, because I'll be sweating even worse than I already am if I do that. So, at the risk of making it a long video, we'll just set that one there. And let's see, what do we want to do next? Since the Roscoe is a nitrided barrel, we'll do the Pro 2A next. Since it's also a nitrided barrel, we'll get both the nitrides out of the way. Y'all just have to sit through me loading mags and enjoy your coffee, which I've got mine in the truck, but it's still a little bit too hot to drink, if you can believe that. Alright, let's get you up here. Alright, second target. Alright, that was the Pro 2A Tactical. Let's do the Expo arms next. Alright, this is the Expo. Again, this one is a chrome line barrel. I hope I didn't put one of them on the wrong target, but anything's possible. And last but not least, my tried and true go-to, which is my PSA. Alright, let's go see how crappy my accuracy is. Because again, it's going to be more about me as a shooter per se than the guns, because the guns are typically always going to be more accurately than what most of us who are honest are physically capable of. Of course, got to stay hydrated. Alright, I'm not even going to stop the camera. We'll just walk down here together. Whew, even in the shade, the camera's getting hot. You see all them clouds up there? Yeah, that's part of the problem. There ain't no clouds. The humidity is just a lovely, balmy thickness. I mean, honestly, I probably don't even have to drink water because I can breathe my water just in the air. I'm getting hydrated with every breath I take. So, two other things I wanted to point out. A, I'm doing this at 50 yards. Why? Because reasons. B, for those of you who aren't familiar with this, the rounds might not all be in the center of the target, because the rounds are going to be zeroed for different ammo than what I'm shooting today. So I'm not looking for them to be in the bullseye, I'm looking for how tight the groups are. So, we started out with the Roscoe, and as you can see, let me get you down there where you can actually see. Point the camera at the target, John. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I probably yanked that one. That's a pretty decent group. Pro 2A Tactical, got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Other than that flyer, that's not bad either. Next is the Expo, got 1, 2, 3, 4, and I told you I think I put one on the wrong target somewhere. So, still not bad for the Expo build right there. And then the Palmetto State Armory, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not bad either. I'm trying to figure out where the 5th round right here went, because I don't see any extras on the other targets. Did I just completely yank it? 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah. So 1, 2, 3. Look here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's another one right here. So one of them from the Expo went over here. If I was going to guess, based on where these are grouped at, boy, I got to point the camera at the target for y'all. Based on where these are grouped at, I think this is the one that I pulled and shot the wrong target with on the Expo, because it was hitting right where that one was. So that shot there should be over here with this one. So all of those with the Expos right there, the Pro 2A right here, as you can see, they are all more than men at a man. They are all perfectly capable of doing anything that I could possibly need them to do within the engagement distances that I would have in my terrain, my area, and the way I've got my rifle set up. So, what did we learn from this? Not a whole lot, other than John can sometimes be inconsistent, and sometimes he can do really good, and sometimes his eyes just mess with him and he snatches the trigger and all the other typical things. So, can't learn a lot other than, like an old friend used to say, shooting can be fun. But every time you pull the trigger, if you're trying to actually accomplish something, and for me, it's constantly trying to work on my fundamentals every time I pull the trigger. Sights, breathing, trigger press, doing all those things right every time. Even when I'm just doing something like this, that's just a real informal little shoot and test for y'all, I'm still working on those fundamentals every time and using it as actual practice time. We need fan. So, I hope y'all like it. Again, this was just a little informal thing I wanted to do. I had a little bit of this Defiant left. Don't really have enough to do much else with, so I felt like doing some of those would be a fun thing. 14.5-inch barrels are probably some of my favorite general purpose barrels. Again, for my area, which is very thick southern woods. Don't be deceived, it's open right here because we've made us a range and we cleared it nice and open. We've got the dual purpose range because I can use the backside too, and that's more of our fire and maneuver section, which I hope to be bringing you some new stuff on the fire and maneuver side in the not too distant future. We got to see how things shake out. Time is a valuable, precious resource for me right now. So, hope y'all enjoyed it. Make sure you check out Defiant Munitions. Good people doing good stuff with really good ammo. And make sure you get out there and practice. Practice, practice, practice. Tick-tock. I'll catch you guys in another one. Stay safe.